Welcome to the world's largest pepperoni factory, where raw meat becomes a pizza-topping favorite every day. Massive refrigerated trucks arrive at the loading dock, carrying tons of fresh beef and pork for processing. The cold chain is maintained as meat is transferred directly into the refrigerated intake facility for inspection.
Quality control inspectors check every pallet of raw meat to ensure it meets strict food safety standards.
Precise digital scales weigh the meat blocks to calculate the exact fat-to-protein ratio for recipes.
Please subscribe to our channel now to see more fascinating food factory tours and industrial engineering marvels. The meat blocks are lifted into massive industrial grinders that break them down into coarse ground meat.
Balancing lean meat and fat is crucial for creating the perfect texture and flavor in pepperoni sausage.
Advanced separators remove any tiny bone fragments, ensuring that the final product is safe for everyone to eat.
A secret blend of paprika, chili powder, and garlic is weighed out to season the meat mixture. Huge stainless steel paddles mix the meat and spices together, distributing the flavor evenly throughout the batch.
Curing salts are added to the mix to preserve the meat and give pepperoni its pink color.
A starter culture of beneficial bacteria is introduced to begin the fermentation process that defines the flavor.
The temperature of the mixer is carefully controlled to prevent the fat from melting during the friction.
The mixture passes through a finer grinding plate to achieve the smooth consistency required for pepperoni sausages.
High-speed choppers turn the meat and fat into a stable emulsion, ready for the stuffing machine. The meat batter is pumped through stainless steel pipes to the filling station located in another room.
Long strands of cellulose casing are loaded onto the stuffing horns to hold the meat mixture shape.
The stuffer injects the meat paste into the casings at high pressure, creating long, continuous sausage ropes.
Automatic linkers twist the filled casings at precise intervals to create individual uniform sausages for the racks.
Robotic arms hang the long strings of sausages onto metal racks, preparing them for the fermentation ovens. The racks are wheeled into warm, humid rooms where the starter culture begins to acidify the meat. As acidity rises, the pH drops, which protects the meat from harmful bacteria and sets the texture.
This acidification step is a critical safety measure that has been used in sausage making for centuries.
After fermentation, the sausages are moved to smokehouses, where they are cooked and flavored with natural wood.
The heat kills any remaining pathogens, while the smoke adds that characteristic savory depth to the flavor.
Once cooked, the pepperoni enters the drying phase, which is the longest part of the entire process.
Massive climate-controlled rooms hold millions of sausages as they slowly lose moisture over several weeks' time.
As water evaporates, the sausages shrink in diameter, and the flavor becomes more concentrated and intense today.
Technicians monitor humidity levels constantly to ensure the drying is even.
Inspectors check for any unwanted mold growth, and although white beneficial mold is sometimes encouraged for certain styles.
A time-lapse shows the sausages darkening in color and shrinking as they mature in the room. Samples are taken to the lab to test water activity levels, ensuring the product is shelf-stable. Once the moisture target is reached, and the racks are moved out of the drying room and for processing.
For sliced pepperoni, the cellulose casing is no longer needed and must be removed before the slicing. Steam softens the casing slightly, allowing automated peelers to strip it away from the meat surface cleanly.
The removed casings are collected and discarded while the naked sausages move forward on a sanitary belt. Another metal detector scans the naked logs to ensure no machinery parts have contaminated the food product. The long pepperoni sticks are cut into shorter logs that fit perfectly into the high-speed slicers.
The logs are flash frozen to make them firm enough for the slicer blades to cut precisely.
High-speed blades spin like a blur, cutting hundreds of pepperoni slices every single second of operation. The slicing machines are so fast that cameras are needed to inspect the quality of the cut. A waterfall of pepperoni slices lands on the conveyor belt, creating a continuous river of red spice. For some retail packages, and the slices are stacked into neat piles by automated counting and stacking machines. Precise scales weigh the portions to ensure every customer gets exactly the amount listed on the package.
Other lines keep the slices loose for bulk packaging, destined for pizza chains and large food service.
The packaging room maintains a sterile environment to prevent contamination before the product is sealed in plastic.
Machines heat plastic sheets to form trays that will hold the stacks of sliced pepperoni for retail.
Robotic arms or workers place the portions into the formed plastic trays with speed and great accuracy. Nitrogen gas is flushed into the package to displace oxygen, which prevents spoilage and extends shelf life.
A top layer of plastic film is heat sealed onto the tray, locking in the fresh flavor.
Blades cut the continuous web of plastic into individual packages ready for labeling and final boxing steps. High-speed labelers apply the brand logo, nutritional information, and expiration dates to every single package produced.
And robotic case packers pick up the retail packs and place them into cardboard boxes for shipping out.
The boxes are stacked onto pallets and wrapped in stretch film to secure them for the transport. Some pepperoni is sold as whole logs, and these bypass the slicer, moving directly to vacuum packaging. Whole sticks are vacuum sealed in heavy-duty plastic to preserve their moisture and texture for months. Quality assurance teams perform random checks on finished packages to verify seal integrity and gas flush levels.
A sensory panel tastes samples from every batch to ensure the flavor profile matches the brand standard.
Chemical analysis confirms the fat content meets the legal requirements for products labeled as pepperoni in stores. And
Sanitation crews work overnight, using high-pressure hot water and foam to clean every piece of equipment.
Technicians swab surfaces to test for bacteria, ensuring the factory is sterile before the next shift starts. Mechanics inspect the slicer blades and grinder plates, replacing any worn parts to maintain peak production efficiency.
The factory uses heat recovery systems to capture energy from the ovens and use it elsewhere here. Water treatment facilities on site clean the wash water before it is released back into the environment.
New recipes are developed in the sea.
Key pepperoni is also made here, using a similar process but with much lower fat content ratios.
The facility is experimenting with plant-based alternatives to meet the growing demand for vegan pizza toppings.
A complex logistics network coordinates the delivery of raw materials and the shipment of finished goods daily.
The warehouse holds millions of pounds of product in cold storage, ready to be shipped on demand.
Electric forklifts zip quietly through the aisles, moving pallets with precision to maximize the storage space usage. Barcode scanners track every box, ensuring that inventory levels are accurate and stock rotation is managed perfectly.
Maintaining the cold chain is vital to prevent spoilage, so the loading docks are refrigerated as well.
Drivers back their trucks into the sealed docks, preventing warm air from entering the cold storage warehouse.
Pallets are loaded quickly into the refrigerated trailers, which are set to the optimal transport temperature settings.
These trucks will travel hundreds of miles to deliver pepperoni to distribution centers across the entire country.
Much of this pepperoni ends up at major pizza chains where it is consumed by millions daily.
Grocery stores receive the retail pack's stocking shelves for home cooks to use on homemade pizza nights.
Pepperoni is an American invention, inspired by Italian salamis, but adapted for a faster production cycle time.
Americans consume over 250 million pounds of pepperoni every year, making it the top topping.
Automation allows this single factory to produce enough pepperoni to cover millions of pizzas every single week.
Sensors and software monitor every motor and valve in the factory to predict maintenance needs in advance.
Despite automation, skilled workers are still essential for monitoring quality and keeping the complex machinery running smoothly.
Employees undergo rigorous training in food safety and machine operation to ensure a safe working environment daily. Everyone wears protective gear, including chainmail gloves for those working near sharp blades, to prevent accidents happening. Meat waste is minimized by efficient processing, and any scraps are often rendered into other industrial products.
Solar panels on the roof provide a portion of the electricity needed to run the cooling systems.
The sheer scale of the operation is breathtaking, with miles of conveyor belts moving product continuously forward. The smell of garlic, paprika, and smoked meat fills the air, creating a savory atmosphere inside production.
Special casings are used for pepperoni that curls up into little cups when cooked on a pizza.
Other styles are designed to lay flat, covering the pizza, with maximum surface area for cheese coverage. Some pepperoni is diced into small cubes for use in pasta salads or inside stuffed bread products. This factory also exports its premium pepperoni to international markets, bringing American pizza culture to the world.
From a raw block of meat to a perfectly spiced slice, and the journey is a complex marvel. Consistent quality is the hallmark of this facility, ensuring every bite tastes exactly as the customer expects. As technology advances, the production line becomes faster and more efficient while maintaining high food safety standards. The final result is the delicious red circle that defines the look and taste of pepperoni pizza. As the sun sets, the factory lights hum on, ready to produce another batch for tomorrow's orders.
Trucks pull away into the night, carrying the spicy cargo to hungry customers waiting across the nation.
Thank you for watching this deep dive into the fascinating high-tech world of industrial pepperoni production.